Pedophiles. That's a good way to start this video. Now you know what we're talking about today. So, I haven't really talked about this certain group of people, this community of people, really, like in a proper video. I've only really, mentioned them. But today this video is going to be focused around the MAP community, or minor attracted person, or if you want to use the real word, pedophile. So, if you don't know, pedophiles have been doing this thing where they've been trying to normalize pedophilia by saying it's like a sexual orientation slash part of the LGBTQ community. And they call themselves MAPS, minor attracted person. This is just an excuse to have pedophilia, normalized. But that is just not okay. It's definitely not okay. A lot of people disagree with this map community, and I do personally, because it's just an excuse. And it's even gone so far that it's been affecting the real people of the LGBTQ community, like the trans or gay people. So I just I don't really think these people should be allowed on this platform or wherever. But one of these big map nests, if you could call them a nest, or like hideouts, is Twitter. Twitter is filled with these maps. There's a lot of them on there. It had a big problem, but recently Twitter has just come out with a new policy, the child sexual exploitation policy. So I'm going to start scanning over this policy, and I'm going to read it to you guys, and I'm going to tell you how great this is going to be, because we can finally take down one of the biggest places these disgusting people hang out in. So let me see. So the pretty much Twitter has announced a new policy where they pretty much hammer down on these maps or just pedophiles in this case. So what's in violation of this policy? Any content that depicts or promotes child sexual exploitation, including but not limited to visual depictions of a child engaging in sexually explicit or sexually suggestive acts, illustrated and computer-generated or other forms of realistic depictions of a human child in a sexual explicit context or engaging in sexually explicit acts, sexualized commentaries about or directed at a known or unknown minor, and links to third-party sites that host a child sexual exploitation material. So, pretty much this means they're hammering down on any content that's related to child prawns. They're also gonna hammer down on people who want to normalize this stupid stuff. We have another one here. The following behaviors are also not permitted: sharing fantasies about or promoting engaged in child sexual exploitation, expressing a desire to obtain materials that feature child sexual exploitation, recruiting, advertising, or expressing an interest in commercial sex act involving a child, or in harboring and or transporting a child for sexual purposes, sending sexual explicit media to a child, engaging or trying to engage a child in a sexual explicit conversation, trying to obtain sexually explicit media from a child, or trying to engage a child in sexual activity through blackmail or other instances. Identifying alleged victims of childhood sexual exploitation by name or image, and promoting or normalizing sexual attraction to minors as a form of identity or sexual orientation. So yes, this does include the last one. Explicitly mentions that you cannot use this as a form of identity or sexual orientation, hammering down on these disgusting maps or just outright pedophiles, which is great. They mention that you can't go on Twitter and tweet out, "Oh, I so badly want to do this to this 15-year-old girl," or some shit like that, which is fucking great. They're hammering down absolutely on all this bullshit. It's fucking amazing, and I'm glad that they're taking a stance, not only just normal pedophiles, but people who are trying to normalize it, and people who are trying to pretty much say, hey, it's a sexual orientation, when really it isn't. It's not an identity or sexual orientation. It's outright pedophilia, and that's that. You just have to deal with it. So, what is not a violation of this policy? Discussions related to child sexual exploitation are permitted, provided they don't normalize, promote, or glorify child sexual exploitation in any way. Conversations about help-seeking behavior of individuals who may struggle with an attraction to minors, advocacy against illegal or harmful activity involving minors, provided there is no sharing or linking to any material featuring child sexual exploitation, and depictions of nude minors in a non-sexualized context or setting may be permitted in a limited number of scenarios, e.g. artworks by internationally renowned artists that featured minors, news media reportage, media created and shared for scientific or educational purposes. So yeah, they are so if you are gonna talk about this on Twitter, you can. You just gotta make sure you don't try to normalize it or anything like that. You can also uh, talk about helping someone, because there is actually therapies out there. I forgot what the therapy was called, but there is therapies out there to get you out of attraction to minors. So you can actually get help. And if you do have an attraction to minors, please go seek this help. Don't just... Please go seek one of these therapists. I forgot the name of the therapist, the type of therapist, but there is one out there that... There is a type of therapist out there that specializes in helping people to get out of these attractions to minors and other illegal, sorts of things. Another thing is you can advocate against these things. So if you don't like it, like me, if you despise these maps or just outright pedophiles, you can talk about fighting against them and stopping them. So Twitter understands that these people shouldn't exist, but they're not outright banning the conversation. They're just banning normalization and talks about it being a sexual orientation, which is wonderful. I wish this was sooner. This should have came out a lot sooner, but at least they are taking a stand. It's better than them not doing jack shit. So I'm extremely happy that such a major social media platform that I'm on is taking a stand against these disgusting people. And also, please go follow my Twitter. It's in the description. Anyways, see you later. Peace.